conveys the wrong message, because as you're about to see in this Syphus story, it's a very special, unique instance where Syphus training is really for anyone and everyone, and we do not want you to be intimidated. We want you to be initiated. And this is a really special Syphus story that we usually only have, a paragraph written about somebody and their experience with Syphus training, but this one deserves quite a bit more of a spotlight. Her name is Amy. She came to us a number of years ago trying to get past some physical limitations that she had. We ran her through pretty much what we do in Syphus training, the methodology and the different crawls and the different types of exercises that we do, and she saw some great benefits from it. But I really would like it to be explained in her words, not mine, and I hope you enjoy it.
I'm Amy, and this is my Syphus story. I came to the gym injured, and a friend had recommended that I see you, that you could, if anyone can fix you, it's Mike Hackett, track him down. So I tracked you down here not knowing anything at all about Syphus training, not really even interested in Syphus training. And while you trained me, I could watch everybody doing the workouts, and it was interesting. It was different than anything I'd ever seen. The crawling, the running, it was kind of cross between a stampede and a fitness party. The clock starts and like beep, 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 and they're off and running. I can't think of any other gym situation where, people come and they're fired up and there's like a time element and they're in a race, and yet they're all kind of on the same team, even though they're all competing for separate scores. There's a lot of support, like you've got this, go get them, or so it was just totally different from anything I'd ever seen before.
That's really cool. I mean, it's really well said.
Yeah,
I said it myself. So you mentioned that you were kind of referred here because you're out of an injury.
Right.
Can you go into detail, if you feel comfortable, kind of explaining it?
Yeah, well, probably the easiest way to describe it was I had surgery to remove pressure on my spinal cord. My vertebrae were pressing on my spinal cord, so I had weakness on the right side of my body, and I honestly couldn't really run when I came here, and it was very hard for me to lift my right arm over my head. So my goal was to come here and try and strengthen the right side of my body and regain a lot of coordination, and this has definitely done it. I mean, it's really helped me amazingly. And I think crawling is exceptionally good for coordination and strengthening me. I love the way that I used to run a lot. I used to like to run about 6 miles a day in college. And but as I've gotten older, it's a little bit monotonous for me. I have a shorter attention span. I'd much rather, if I'm going to go far, I'd much rather get on my bike and ride. But here, you can get the cardio, but there's a lot of variety. If someone said, all right, you're going to warm up now, you're going to run for 5 minutes, even just running for 5 minutes, like, oh. But if it's you're going to run, you're going to do a suicide, and then you're going to do mountain climbers, and then you're going to do hikes, and then you're going to do bully, then it's all very interesting. There's so much going on, so much more to think about, so much variety, so many things changing, that you get your heart rate up, you get a good workout in, but you're entertained by it. We came in, the wrong door, and there were a bunch of guys working out on the turf. And one of them looked up at my probably 14 and 16-year-olds and said, "Get out when you can." And they were just kind of spooked by it all. It was so funny, but that's how the people are here. They have a great sense of humor. They're always having fun, even when they're really working hard, they're really exhausted. And I think it does kind of sum it up, because get out while you can, because once you like it, you're stuck here. I mean, whether you like it or not, you're going to want to come back over and over again and do this. And it kind of, to me, sums up what it is to be a junkie, and why we all love it here, and why we're so much fun. Syphus training is great because you can do it every day, as much as you want, forever. It's always available to you, and it gives your body a chance. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years. You don't immediately adapt. You don't immediately improve. There are small improvements that happen over time, and so every year I'm better. You know, every year there are certain tasks that I might not have been able to do at first, and then I surprise myself by trying them the next year, and I can. And that's why, to me, it's better than, let's just say, walking, running, cycling, simply weightlifting, because, or just yoga, throw in everything. You'd have to do a little bit of all of those things I just listed to make up for what you do in an hour at Syphus. It builds your strength, it builds your flexibility, it works on your cardio. I've had friends who've said they've done Syphus all winter because it was lousy, icy, and then their first spring day that was nice, they ran out and they could just go forever. They had great wind, they were in great condition, and just by doing this. And it wasn't that they were sitting here running all day. I think also there are a lot of movements that you're jumping, plyometrics, and that builds strength and flexibility and coordination. Crawling is especially tricky for coordination. You're moving all body parts at once. You know, whether you're doing a mastodon, you're going to have to move your arms plus jump your legs back and forth from side to side. It works everything. It works your core, your arms, your shoulders, your back, your legs, your calves, and everything just to do that. Right. Well, we refer to ourselves as either junkies or a Syphus family, and I think I've never encountered anyone here in a bad mood. And that's remarkable, because if you go to the grocery store or you're driving around town or you name it, you're going to run into people who are in a bad mood. You won't find people in a bad mood in this gym. I don't know if it's because we're all so happy to be here, or what we do on the turf takes care of any issues we might be having that day, but everyone's always, happy to see you and in a good mood and friendly and outgoing, and they all have pretty good senses of humor, and they're fun to be around. And the trainers are a great group of people. As the business has grown, you've hired more and more and more of them. And I'm just like, okay, what will this one be like? What will my new trainer be like? And they're all great. And because they've oftentimes been active here, I've known them in other capacities, just as members. It's always fun to see how good they are at being pros, because they started out just as junkies, and they always are exceptionally good. And some people that, like Emily, for instance, she's so creative and she is so good at writing some of the workouts, and I didn't know that would be part of her strengths. And they're all really talented people with a lot of really great hidden strengths.
They'll first off, they'll love to hear that. And I know, so people are going to see this, and it's your Syphus Story. I know that people in Brownstown or Royal Oak, they may not know who you are because you don't necessarily keep a score. So a lot of people are obsessed with looking at the statistics and seeing how they're doing. And our motto is obviously form first and competition is second. And you take that to a different level, to where you and I work out one-on-one, and then sometimes we'll do Gamut, which is a different service that we offer in St. Clair Shores. But I know that there's a lot of people that look up to you in this location because they admire how you still come in and you do your work without keeping a score, and form first is absolutely your number one prerogative or goal, really. Yes. And I want your take on what form first is.
Well, form first, number one, protects you from injury. If you do it correctly, you won't hurt anything. So it's in your own best interest to do it the right way. Secondly, if you're doing it correctly, form first, and you think about which muscles you're actually targeting, you're going to get more out of your workout. You're going to get stronger faster. Your body sometimes tries to avoid the work, and that results in bad form. You don't want to squat that low. today, that hurts, and so your body is really pretty smart at avoiding that, and that's why you have bad form. You're trying to avoid that pain, but the pain is actually the good work being done, and so the more you can, find that edge, go for that perfect form, squat as low as you can, make sure when you bench you get those elbows all the way down to the turf. It makes a huge difference. You're going to be rewarded for it.
Two more things. Do you have like one Syphus memory that sticks out in your mind more than any of the others?
Quest.
Or? Quest.
Quest.
Okay.
Quest is the best.
Okay. Can you explain what Quest is?
All right. Quest is a rare occurrence. Usually happens in the winter, right? Because it's got to be dark out. We do Syphus at night in the dark. It's the best. Because if you're a kid at heart, and I think a lot of us are, it's kind of like Syphus meets Simon Says meets Ghosts in the Graveyard. It's dark, and you basically tell us what to do when, and we're just all running around doing it, and there's no score, and it's so much fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Whenever a quest comes up, sign up for a quest. Definitely.
Quest, I have good memories of all my quests because we do it so infrequently that I do remember them.
Yeah.
And especially now that we have different locations, it's kind of fun to go to each one and kind of have like a memory of each one and the playlist and stuff like that. That's great. And then I guess, is there anything else that you want to add? I don't know if there's anything else that comes to mind that you think would be valuable to share.
Well, I just think it's amazing how supportive everyone is, and I was thinking how many times I worked out, people were like, "You've got this," or even one person like, "You inspire me," which is hysterically funny, but I love it, and she meant it sincerely, and that's kind of how everyone is around